Yo, what's up guys, it's Pelican here, back to another deck profile. And if you can, real quick before we go ahead and get started, hit that subscribe button, it supports the channel, and at this channel we do support your pets and everyone in between, so if you want to make your pets and everyone in your life happy, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We'll go ahead and make it happen. Yeah, so in regards to the deck, of course, we're playing, as you can see, we're playing Plunder. I really like this deck because I've always wanted like a pirate-themed deck, and it does a lot, and this deck is really undermined, especially its grind potential is actually crazy. The best way this deck is utilized, honestly, is just going second. It's just too free. Kaiju, so you can get the correct color for your opponent. Kaiju Slumber. Yeah, so real quick, we're just going to go through the deck. So we have Driver, of course, on a 3 Cypher and Gamma. We have Triple Nibiru because he's one of the best hand traps. We play just about all the color Kaijus we can. Water because he's our favorite one because it gets into this guy. And then so what Whitebeard does is basically him and Redbeard actually share the same first effect where under your opponent's turn you can special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard, and then it equips itself to it. His secondary effect, which makes him the best one, when he's sent from either hand or monsters onto the graveyard, you can special summon one Plunder from the deck, which is really free. The Redbeard, he's not as good, but he's still pretty good. What he does is when he's sent from hand or monsters onto the grave, you can equip him to a Plunder by targeting. And then we have Bluebeard, which he special summons himself if there's another Plunder. And then Golden Hair, which she's also a tuner, which is really good, so she has two effects. First one is you can send one other Plunder Patrol monster card from your hand or face up to the field to the graveyard and special summon her. And then if she's in the grave, you can also special summon her by discarding any card. And these are both once per turn, but you can use them both in the same turn, which is really good. And another useful thing is she can also send the monsters that are equipped as well, which is a really useful thing, especially when you're lower on resources. You can play 2 Ash, 3 Gamma, because it's also one of the best hand traps, and 2 Veiler. So they do have a fusion spell as well, and it lets you fusion using Plunders from your hand or the field, of course. And then you can banish it from your from your graveyard. Target one Plunder monster you control. Equip it with either one emblem of Plunder Patrol or one monster from your deck. In regards to it, you can play Terraforming, Triple Kaiju Slumber. So Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. So this basically lets you equip to any Plunder monster. It gives a 500 attack, but that's not really what matters. It also can't. Your opponent also can't target card effects, which is really helpful. But you can also send this equipped card to the graveyard and special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster on the field or in the grave, which is really helpful because it also works for your field as well. And then yeah, that's really about it. And then also, when you equip it as well, it gives the monster an extra 500 attack, which is really helpful. Then we have the field spell. This card is stupid for no reason. So for one, Plunder Patrol monsters gain 500 attack for each Plunder Patrol card in your spell or trap zone as well. So you know you tend to have like at least 2 or 3 usually, sometimes less. But yeah. Its first effect is you can pitch any card and add one Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand, which is you can add the spells, a trap, any monster, which is really good. And then if this card is in the graveyard, you can target one Plunder Patrol card in your spell or trap zone, set this card, and if you do return it to your hand. So if you have any of if you have him or him equipped, or even him, you can bounce it to the hand and set the field spell, which is so free. And then for the extra deck monsters for the Plunder Patrols, we're playing 2 of the lists, which is the fusion. So it takes 2 Plunder monsters. Most of the time you're going to be summoning off of the Blackbeard, but when you do summon him, actually, regardless, so during the main phase quick effect, you can special summon one Plunder Patrol monster card from your hand or face up spell or trap zone. So a lot of times what you can do is you can have him out, use his effect, it brings this out, and then during the main phase you can bring him back out, which is crazy. And then also, its actual other effect is when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can discard one Plunder Patrol card to negate the activation if you destroy it. And then, if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can add one Plunder card from your deck to your hand. So what makes this good is they all have a relative effect that discards to do something. So, and the good part about it is you know, usually it requires a Plunder in hand, but if you have one, you can just go through almost all the monsters, and they always add a Plunder card to your hand. As well, so you'll always have a Plunder card to discard, which is really free. Then for some of the flex spots, I'm playing like Scarlet. I think this card's in the same time. It's just a really good card in general. But yeah, like I said, it is a flex spot. Then you play Draco Berserker the Tenyi. He's insane for this deck in general. And then a White Oral Whale. It's just too free. It blows up all attack position monsters, and then it can attack twice, which is just bonkers. And then we have Plunder Patrol Ship Brawn. So what Brawn does is all of their fiends you control gain 500 attack. so he's not Plunder specific. And then you can discard one card, one Plunder Patrol card, then target one Spell Trap card your opponent controls, banish it, then you can add one Plunder Patrol monster from your deck to your hand. So as I was saying, you know, the recursion's always there. And this is also a quick effect while it's equipped with the Plunder Control card, which most of the time it is because you're going to bring out with this. Then play Dweller, another one of the flex spots. You could probably cut this for something else if you want to play like an extra ship. Definitely, which I might end up doing, I'm not sure. When I was testing, I really never made this, but I just like the card in general. I think Dweller is, for one, very easy to make in this deck, because all your guys are 4s and you always bring them out. But most of the time, you're just going to be going for Plunder cards anyway. Then you play 2 of the Plunder Patrol Ship XYZ. So it takes 2 level 4s, so you can hard make this ship if you want, but most of the time you don't need to. So what this one does, you can discard one Plunder Patrol card, then target an effect monster your opponent controls, banish it. So it banishes, it doesn't just destroy, but it banishes it. Then you can add one Plunder Patrol spell trap from your deck to your hand. This is a quick effect if equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. And once per turn, if a Plunder Patrol card or cards you control be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can detach one material instead. So it also protects your boys, which is really nice. And then you play Vorlode and the Phoenix, which are also flex spots, but Phoenix I think is pretty good in this deck regardless, because Phoenix is a good generic link, of course. This is just because Dragoon's scary. So, yeah. And then you play triple Blackbeard, the Plunder Patrol Captain. So he's the best extra deck card you have, so there's a couple of reasons why. So for one, it's a quick effect, so you can use this at any point during your turn, during their turn, anytime. You can target one effect monster you control, so it's any effect monster as well. It's not just you have to target him or like a Plunder monster. And special summon one Plunder monster from your extra deck with the same attribute as a monster your opponent controls or is integrated. And if you do, equip that target to it, then draw one card. So as earlier, like I was saying, a lot of the times, like what you can do is you can activate this effect. Like so let's just say during your turn, summon this, use this effect, bring this back out. Then, even then, during their turn, you can use his effect to summon another ship, like let's say this, or like this maybe. Then you're able to use this effect during your opponent's turn too, and summon it back, which is just so free. Yeah. Let's just take a quick look at the deck. So in regards to it, I did a couple duels. Like I said, the deck is very good at the grind game. So that's one thing I'm very happy about. So my opponent normal summons Alistair. I go to an Imperm because I'm never letting an Alistair resolve. He summons Almirage, summons Secure Garden, activates Nadir, and I'm genuinely terrified of the Shadal trap, so I'm always going to gamma that card, negate it if I can. He goes ahead and summons that, the Ecclesia, then he adds the Punishment, sets 2 paths, so I have to play through Ushral Fusion and the Punishment, but the Ushral Fusion actually isn't even active. So I went ahead and Kaiju the Ecclesia in case of for the Fleur as well. So we go ahead and do our Plunder shenanigans. His effect is going to go ahead and bring that out. Bring a boy out, but then he punishments targets this. I chain this because it's quick effect to summon this. So now we go ahead and go into battle phase and do this. My mistake, I was supposed to summon this prior to going into battle phase, but it's fine. So I go ahead and banish this to equip my Redbeard with the emblem, use the emblem to bring this out. So now this is a quick effect to banish any effect monster he summons. He summons Fleur, and he tries to go into battle phase, but I pitch to banish it. I go ahead and add the field spell because I wanted to make sure I had another target for something else. We go ahead and summon the Brawn, and we go ahead and banish this card he just set as well. And we go ahead and use this effect to bring this back out so we can get more boys out. And then I go ahead and activate this, pitching the Whitebeard, banishing this. Whitebeard effect should trigger special summon a boy, and then we just put attack, go straight to battle phase, he scoops. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty free. Then we went ahead and went against Datascapes. I for the life of me, I still don't know what this deck does. Let's just see real quick. So Foolish Blade is good as a trap card. Not trap card, the spell card. That adds him 1 card into that. He went ahead and activated this. Foolish a card, summoned this for free, added that. I can't even comment because I just genuinely don't know what's going on with this deck. I remember when I was playing against him, he ends up making like Tzolk'in, and I'm like, I had Imp for my hand. I could have just stopped the Tzolk'in, but you know, it was whatever. I let him play through it. Because I wasn't exactly worried about what he's going to do. Because any monster he summons going to get Kaiju. I believe I did end up imperming something. Oh no, I didn't, apparently. But I ended up Kaijuing the Crystal Wing, and I gave him the Dark one to make sure I had it. I summoned my Kaiju, did a link in regards to it. Now we're just going to go ahead and beat over his guys. He does this to target my guy and destroy it, but like I said, he just runs away, which is really free. But he ends up fog blading, so I can't have him run away. He gets popped, unfortunately. I terraforming, and I go ahead and I terraforming for the field spell. I don't use it yet, but I ended up summoning the XYZ ship so I could banish his monster. And then we activate the Plunder field spell's effect Engrave. return the red beard back to my hand and set it. Now he activated so he gains more attack when I get the boys out. Right now, the big misplay that I did though was I never actually had him equipped, so he has no effect to banish right now during my opponent's turn. But he did do this, and I had the Emperor perform it. Now the trap card, I don't think I went over it. Basically, you declare an attribute and target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to that attribute, and I can either special summon a Plunder from my grave or put it back to the deck. So I summoned the Blackbeard and summoned another Brawn from my deck, and I use its effect to banish the level 9, because that level 9 is really good as well, and now I actually use the effect. So usually the red beard would have been equipped, and he would have been at like 3100 attack, but so when I was doing this, the zones were really close, and I accidentally clicked here instead of here, and since I impermed in this column, yeah, it just fell off. But it was supposed to be there, and I was like, alright, whatever. So this doesn't matter. I'm just going to Kaiju Slumber during my turn, literally get all my cards back for free, because that doesn't even matter. And I go ahead and use the effect, pitching my Gamma, because I don't need that. Summon the Whitebeard. And I go ahead and go into Phoenix, pitching that card as well. And Whitebeard's going to use the effect to summon. And I chain this. He's going to go ahead and try to pop my trap card. It's going to resolve it. I am going to get my blue guy out of the grave, which is still free. And I summon a Redbeard from my deck as well. And I believe we just go into straight battle phase after this as well. Well, after we summon our red ship as well. So we just go ahead and beat over everything. I don't think this is lethal. Yeah, this wasn't lethal. But there isn't really much he can do after this. Like, one card doesn't really do enough in his deck, I guess. It doesn't look like he really had any resources to do much, yeah. He could have made Levier and maybe brought something back, but I don't even think, yeah, it doesn't look like anything relevant there. So he ends up summoning two guys just scooping. Now this took a while. This is where I was talking about how it gets really grindy. And I want to play Avarice, but it's just not worth. So I go and use the field spell, and then I end up gamming. And I actually make the Draco Berserker 10E right after, because I'm not playing Omega, which is something I was thinking I was going to cut the Dweller for Omega for when I Gamma, but it just, you know, it didn't come up often enough. But he pops my 10E guy, summons Ray, and I'm like, sure, that's whatever. He runs away, gets his card, and I believe he grabs a Shark Cannon, and he goes Hayate Battle Phase, and I'm like, okay, it's whatever. You know, there's nothing I can really do about that. So he summons the Fire one, and I'm like, alright, I'll chain this now, because, yeah. I summon Shizuku, and then I end up sniping out the Widowmaker, which is crazy, with the Bronze effect. And then during my turn, we're going to go and activate the field spell, pitching the Slumber, because I'm not going to use that. And then I use his effect, pitching that, to banish the Shark Cannon as well. So we go to normal summon, actually special summon that, pitching the Whitebeard, using the effect special. This was my mistake as well. I don't believe I didn't need to summon this here. But I end up just beating into that. He summons like Kagari as well. And then I end up just beating straight over it again. Like, he gets back his afterburners, whatever. I guess he didn't read the effect of my guy. And he had the other afterburner too, which I guess he just didn't want to use. He didn't read it once per turn. And, you know, most times cards like that aren't. But I ended up, he Widowmaker's my guy, and I chained so I could banish the field spell just in case. He has another one, unfortunately. But I was able to get a red beard to my hand from my deck, which was pretty nice as well. He ends up hitting the Rose, which is really free for him. And he goes Hayate, punch my face. And he ends up foolishing the Widowmaker again. Activates Kagari, adds back the Widowmaker. And he takes my Brawn. Yeah, he took it and then made that and then banished my, this guy. This is Brawn. Whatever the XYZ's name, he took it. But yeah, he banished my Brawn with it. I go ahead and grab a Kaiju. Kaiju is guiding to a Water Kaiju. And I activate that, searching the trap card. Effective Whitebeard is going to get me out. Bluebeard, and we're going to go ahead and link into this guy. From here, we just go ahead and activate the effect to summon a guy from our extra deck. I should have just did that prior so I could have did more damage. Like I said, this is one of my first times playing the deck, but the deck, like I said, seems pretty free. Free in terms of, you know, like, you get so much stuff you just get so many resources, and it's not okay. And then I was lucky I drew the Plunder card actually off this too. So I really don't care what he's going to do at this point. Activate my spell to change it to a fire so he can go right into Kagari. It was really just to get a boy out, to be honest. So he ends up popping my field spell and one of the guys with Afterburner. I end up banishing his Ayate, and I'm okay with Ray coming back, it's whatever. But before Ray comes back, I made sure to banish that multi-roll so he's not going to get infinite resources. He summons my Draco Berserker of 10E for some reason. I guess he thought I was going to activate another monster effect. Maybe he just wanted to use it for another link too. But it doesn't look like that. Oh yeah, he ends up Mystic Mining. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I draw Kaiju Slumber. I'm like, oh, this is free. So I bounce the Whitebeard back to my hand by putting the field spell. Then I Kaiju Slumber him, clearing the board. And then he gets his Ray effect. I'm like, sure, it's whatever. And then I go ahead and beat him to that. Now, the only thing that sucks is I actually end up losing the trap card here, but it didn't really matter. Because the only clause with that trap card, because it's so free, you get to keep bringing monsters back when you really want to, but you need a Plunder Patrol monster during the end phase or it blows up. So whatever. So I go ahead and pitch and special summon that. I go ahead and normal summon, or yeah, summon that I believe. I don't even remember to be honest. So I use Whitebeard, summon that from deck. And then I summon that, he strikes it, and then I normal summon, I attempt to attack with both, but he just Widowmaker takes, and I'm like, okay, it's whatever. So we went ahead and set impermanence, but during his turn I actually ended up using the effect of my Redbeard to summon the Blackbeard, and this is lethal from here. As you can see, the deck grinds very well, especially against one of the better decks, better grinding decks, Sky Striker. I did play against some Eldritch players, and I had a pretty positive win ratio. It's a little more rough in general because Eldritch is terrifying, but you know, what can you do? The deck works pretty well against like against like everybody. The only real issue the deck sees is the Buster Lock, but what can you do? That's why we play the Kaijus, and we play like 1,000 hand traps, you know? So, yeah, this deck shines really well going second. Anyone who plays this first is just playing the deck wrong. I'm going to be honest, and I hate saying that because it makes me sound like you know, I think I'm better than people, but, you know, this deck excels at going second so well. But yeah, if there's any other decks or any other videos you guys want to see, definitely let me know. I'm always about making them, especially if it's a deck I like. I will 1,000% do it pretty quick. Alright, we'll take it easy.